The archer is helpless against birds flying high. This metaphor means that wise individuals who live in seclusion, away from the chaos of society or politics, are like birds flying too high for arrows to reach. Just as an archer cannot harm such birds, rulers or those in power cannot harm these wise people because they avoid entanglement in worldly affairs. The idea emphasizes that detachment from worldly ambition can offer true safety and peace, beyond the archer's reach. In a quiet valley nestled between snow-capped mountains, there once lived a man named Eliar. He was a brilliant scholar, once a trusted advisor to a powerful king. His words could bend the will of armies, and his strategies had saved the kingdom from ruin more than once. But as the years wore on, Eliar grew weary of courtly games, deceitful alliances, and the ever-shifting tide of ambition. One morning, he disappeared without a word. For decades, no one knew where he had gone. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some said he had sailed to foreign lands, others claimed he had become a monk in the mountains. But in truth, Eliar had settled in a small, forgotten village surrounded by fields of wheat and forests filled with birdsong. He built a humble cottage, taught the village children to read, and spent his days tending to a quiet garden and watching the clouds. Years passed. Wars came and went. Kings rose and fell. The very king whom Eliar once advised was eventually betrayed by his own kin, and a new ruler took the throne. This new king, curious about the legend of Eliar, sent spies to seek him out. Eventually, they found the now-aged sage walking barefoot through a field, teaching a boy how to plant potatoes. The king summoned him back to court, offering riches, power, and titles. But Eliar only smiled and replied, "A bird that flies above the clouds does not fear the arrow. I have seen your palace before, and I have no desire to live in its shadow again." Frustrated, the king threatened him, saying, "If you do not serve me, I can make life difficult for you." Eliar calmly replied, "Then you will be shooting arrows into the sky, hoping to strike a cloud." With that, he turned and walked away, disappearing into the forest like a breeze. The king never saw him again. But villagers continued to whisper his name for generations, not for his power, but for his peace. They said the wind carried his wisdom to those who listened, and the birds that flew highest in the sky flew with his spirit. And so, the archer remained powerless, because some souls soar far beyond reach.